Everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Skyward Sword Randomizer Tournament Winter 2021. This is Group 2, winner bracket round 1. It's Gymnast86 versus Deer, our very first match of the group stage here. Commentating for us, we have Copernicus and Specs and Stats, and tracking is Mario Runner and Muzu. Say hello, everybody.
Ooh. How's it going?
First race here. Definitely gonna be interesting. I mean, obviously, Gymnast is a favorite playing against the 4th seed or a 4th seed, but still gonna be entertaining as always.
I'm excited.
So I think, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm excited because now that it's 1v1s that we're gonna be seeing, I feel like the way that runners could possibly approach the seed would be different. Because normally when you're doing a group stage, you want to make it up as high as possible and get as good of a time as possible. Whereas here, you're just trying to beat the other guy.
Yeah.
So if you're in the position like Deer, where you know you're at a slight disadvantage and Gymnast is the obvious favorite, you might choose to play a little bit riskier to try and get a head start on that.
For sure, yeah, that's also something I've been thinking about, considering playing in this tournament as well. Thinking about if there is like ideal place to gamble if you're against someone you're not sure you can beat if you do the same things. So there's definitely a lot of ways to upset standings.
What are a couple that go in your mind? The first thing is Patrice in my mind, because even though she is known to have a high ticket item all the time, it does take a while to do her.
So how I would approach it is I would do the first part of it, because most of the time you have to do something else at night anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to sleep. But at a certain point you'll get a feel for it. If you get like a lot of items, then you don't really need to do Beatrice, in my opinion. That's how I gamble with Beatrice.
That's
and
fair.
If I realize that I don't have anything, then I'll keep doing Beatrice. But it's definitely difficult to figure out how to do it.
So dungeons were Earth Temple and Fire Sanctuary this time around. So those are the two dungeons that the runners will need to complete in order to unlock the final bosses to beat the seed.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Fire Sanctuary basically needs the most requirements, at least logically. But with a lot of back in time stuff, we can avoid a lot of required items, at least to some extent. So that's gonna be interesting. Might also be something that Gymnast would be more favored, since I'm not sure if the Deer knows all the Fire Sanctuary strats.
They're kind of niche, honestly. There are a lot of them, and so we'll end up seeing. We'll see if he goes for them and if he can do them, because they do save a lot of time.
Yeah, especially if you're go mode, then it's insanely good.
Oh, if you're go mode and you don't have to find any last swords or the harp, then it's free, dude. Super fast.
Okay, Beetle early, interesting. So I would assume. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I wonder which pillar is open, if we can like see it maybe here, if Elden is open. It does not appear.
No.
Elden. Which is definitely something they'll look for sure, since that's where the required dungeons are.
I think it's Farron. I think I
yeah, that could very well be.
Yeah, you can't see Lanayru either. I think it's Farron.
Yeah, it's definitely Farron. Yeah, there it is. There you see the pillar. Yep. Yeah.
Gymnast going
interesting.
Into statue, Deer going into Bazaar, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the
claw shots as well. Very big. I mean, they still need, Lanayru tablet for most claw shots checks, but claw shot is still very, very good. Unlocks the most checks, basically. For example, Gymnast could go right away for the Zelda hot piece here if he wants to. Not sure.
So, if you find a Lanayru tablet here in your first Skyloft visit, do you go Lanayru first, or do you still take that Farron play?
So I know Gymnast did some like seeds, like bulk seeds basically. And I think if Farron is your first tablet, then it's like 66% that like there's an item in Slingshot. So I could see Gymnast saying, okay, I trust the statistics and still go to Farron, even if you get Amber Tablet, but it's definitely a good point.
And that's another check that Deer, if he wanted to, could forego, because that slingshot check is quite long.
For sure. Definitely. Especially with claw shots, it's super easy to skip.
There's one of the Song of the Hero.
Oh boy. That's gonna be something.
I don't care. All I want are Silent Realms. I just want Silent Realms. I just want to see them. Come on. Give us some Silent Realms. At least 2. Give us 2.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's like another very, very good gamble. Even if the hint says, you know, it can be required, you could still just not do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And save probably around, like, I don't know, 3 or 5 minutes, so...
Yeah, they're long.
It's definitely something that Deer should keep in mind, if it ever comes to that.
So after doing things in slightly different orders, the runners are kind of come together now, doing the same path. I think Jim has a couple things that he's done that Deer has not, but...
Yeah, I think Deer probably goes for the goddess statue right after this. So what you can do, like, you can just use the Sky Zone to, like, basically land in front of the goddess statue, and it's not really that much slower than the Skyloft route that Gymnast is using.
Right. Ooh, nice claw shot strat. Right
Yeah, that's nice. Claw shots in general, like, you will also see it a lot in Farron, because Farron has, like, the most vines.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we won't see the Farron dungeons because they're get heavily, like, broken with claw shots.
Right. Well, and they have a few checks where if you're coming up a little bit dry, you may want to go deeper. Not the dungeons, obviously, but maybe go a little bit deeper into Farron.
Yeah, that's true. So now the question is, is Jim going for Lumpy Pumpkin or for Farron?
Looks like he's going Lumpy Pumpkin.
Yeah. Probably good.
Deer might be following suit.
Yeah, I'll assume he gets the goddess statue checks still.
He's probably going to swing back afterwards. Which is weird, because ideally you would want to go from Lumpy Pumpkin and maybe just dip straight into Farron. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's actually smart. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's actually... You can even, like, manipulate the load zone a little bit better, and then you can actually, like, land right in front of the statue. Here.
Nice.
It's definitely a route that is possible to take.
What was on this? I didn't see what was on the channel there.
Yeah, gold rupee. Okay. Yeah.
So now Gymnast would probably be going into Farron. Neither doing Patrice early.
I think they talked to her a little bit, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think yeah, you want to, like, do some side quests while doing Beatrice, best case. So I understand delaying it.
So Jim's the first person going into Farron now. Yeah, Skyward 7. So there's a feature that they have in the randomizer that allows them to basically give the Loftwing no speed cap. So rather than it being as slow as it normally is, it'll actually end up going very, very fast, which, as you'll see later on, hopefully, can sometimes break the game.
Well, yeah, it's definitely nice. Because a lot of stuff are quite out of the way sometimes. I mean, we're not playing with goddess chests, so it's not that required. But stuff like the spiral charge rocks are just very, very far out of the way. Yeah. It's very nice, and Thunderhead as well, for example. So it's very nice that we have the Loftwing speed.
Ooh,
Interesting.
Interesting. Doesn't really...
I mean, it does some Skyloft stuff, so leading from Malara and the Rattle. I mean, Claw Shots and Gospels together could, you know, give you the Rattle check.
Yeah, that's definitely 0 Gospellos.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, though, with Claw Shots in there, it just tends to be, like, a lot of checks, so it's harder to, like, read the logic, I would say, right? So this could just be leading to nothing. Because Claw Shots will, like, if we get the Amber Tablet, then immediately so many more checks, and suddenly, you know, all the items you got don't really tell that much anymore. So Gymnast going for Slingshot. As I said, his statistics says that they're likely to have something good. So this is something where, you know, Deer could maybe decide to not do, because he can just claw shot the vines at the start and skip this.
Yeah, and it would skip a decent chunk too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Slingshot ends up not being required and Deer would skip it, he would probably go ahead of Jim, because Jim still has to do a lot of stuff.
Sitting, we're getting some hearts back.
Yeah. So now the tourney version actually also has reduced text for the Kikuis here, so that's very nice, making it a little bit faster to Slingshot check at least.
Exactly, you don't have to go through the phi text there.
Yeah. No more phi text. So another thing to note, when Gymnast is gonna bonk the vine down here, you can actually see the grade 3 check, not the grade 3 check, the on the tree check. If it's okay, it's not. It's like a smaller model.
Yeah.
But if it's like a bigger model, you can actually see what's on the tree, the freestanding item there.
Mm-hmm. It looks
And
like
if it's like
a red rupee or something.
yeah, exactly. So if it's like a smaller model, it most likely means that it actually is something useful, unless it's of course like treasure or something.
All right, is Deer going to do the slingshot check? Is the question now.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice here.
Like you were saying, it has a high probability of having
Yeah.
something good, but it is quite long to complete.
For sure. I could also see the grade 3 check being something here. Being so open early. And I mean, we're looking for something, right? There's not too many checks in Farron, unfortunately, right now. So it makes sense that Slingshot probably has something.
Looks like he's going slingshot.
Yeah.
And you can go deep woods right now without the slingshot.
Yeah, with claw shots you can hit the vine down, or with beetle. Another thing to note, hopefully we'll see some beetle use here to get the free ascending item if it's important. It's actually very nice, a little bit quicker than actually going to some of the freestanding items. Yeah.
Oh, what's he thinking?
I also wonder how important Patrol is gonna be, because we know the Logix likes crystals somewhat a little bit better than other stuff. So
well, it's
often
like surplus. There's so many checks in it that it's bound to have at least one item.
Yeah.
You know, with what is there? 10, 20, 30,
yeah,
40,
5,
50?
10, 5, 10, 30, 30, twice 30, then 40, and then 50.
Yeah, so that's 6 almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a lot of opportunity for something good to be there. Now, the question is, do you normally check Batro? Obviously, they're going to go Skyloft after this Farron visit. The question is, oh, you forgot the Kikui behind the mushroom. But the question is, if you don't get any other star fragments, do you get Batro 5, or do you wait until you have a few more?
It's very tricky. So like basically like the last I did like a practice seed, and in that practice seed I actually was required to get all 15 single gratitude crystals.
Oh wow!
In order to like advance. And it would have been a little bit better if I, would have known that earlier and routed them in with some other checks. Like, for example, when you get, like, the rattle, right, there's some gratitude crystals on top of the waterfall. So you have, like, either the choice to be like, okay, let's route that in.
What is that?
Or you decide to, well, no, I don't need it. But I lean more towards ignoring them, because since we only require, like, 50 gratitude crystals as max, it ends up being more likely that you get the
Ruby tablet. That's
Oh,
a
wow.
Ruby tablet in Deep Fairing.
nice. So yeah, I would say, I would say like get 5 single graduate crystals since they're on the way to a throw, and then get like the 5 and 10, and basically nothing more. I think that's probably the most I would do.
Well, Deer did just get a 5-pack. That's what was on the tree up there. Was a
Yeah.
5-pack of gratitude crystals. So that's at least 2 checks right there for him. In a little bit, Gymnast will be.
So yeah, there is an interesting thought here. I know it is out of logic, but technically with REM we could reach Earth Temple right now,
Right.
and also get like some checks. But it obviously probably is not a good idea. You probably need like at least digging mitts, I guess, or maybe hook beetle.
Digging mitts in Earth Temple posture.
That could be possible. I mean, I had like talking about the seed I had last, I played last. I actually never got digging mitts, even though Earth Temple was required.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because hook beetle can basically make like everything in Earth Temple. If you have hook beetle, it can basically do everything.
Right. You don't technically need them. They just.
Yeah. But normally, digging mitts is what you get because it's pretty big, honestly, for Elden. Okay, so grade 3. So far oh, that's unfortunate there. Yeah, if you just have the bad spot there, you can actually fall off. So in recent seeding races, the grade 2 chest always had something good. At least the last ones. For some reason, it always had something good. So let's see if that trend continues here. So first we have to kill this guy though.
I've seen a strategy skip.
So the thing is, there's a void out zone up here. So you have to kill him and then the void out zone disappears. But if you have, if you go from the bottom, you can do like how you're normally supposed to get there.
Gotcha. That's probably what I saw then.
Yeah.
Was them going from the bottom.
And that's like another niche thing that probably not many people know, but the void zone actually also goes away after you beat Ancient Sister.
Oh, really?
Because it's like a different grade 3 layer. There's no void out there. But yeah, I mean, most of the time you'll not have that situation, and you have to kill the moblin.
Alright.
Well, I mean, how fast you beat the seed really depends on the seed, honestly.
Yeah, you could be a top runner and still get an absolute garbage seed that takes over 3 hours.
Unfortunately. Especially if you decide to do some, some gambles, like, not getting single credit crystals and end up needing them. That can, like, delay it quite a bit.
This is Copernicus trying to give him an excuse for his last.
It was really bad. It was like 5 crystals on PO3s that were required because I needed them as well. That was something. Well, so yeah, you see Deer pushing down the log at Lops. I'm not sure if Gymnast did, but it's definitely good to do because that allows you to do the Olin check later without bombs. Although logically required are bombs. Interesting, it seems like Gymnast decides to go for Lake Floria here, early Lake Floria.
There's the unrid beetle.
Without scale. It's definitely something. At least
so the checks that Gymnast is going to be getting here now, because he didn't have the dragon scale, he's going to be able to get these chests with the little skip that he just did. However, none of these will be in logic. So you won't be able to find the dragon scale here. However, it just means that essentially it's less likely for there to be something here.
However, he's going for the one check here, and that's this one. Definitely a big gamble. I think his thought process is that a lot of stuff for interesting key piece. Not that it is really required, but still interesting.
I mean, logically, that means that we were supposed to get the scale before
Exactly.
entering Earth Temple, which is interesting. It makes you think that maybe the scale is very close, or at least it's early.
Yeah, I think that's like basically the thought a gymnast had, because you have a lot of stuff to reach the top of grade 3, and you can also hit Yerbal with the beetle. So basically, scale was the only thing missing from making the flurry in logic, you know. So I could see like scale being in Elden or like in some of the Skyloft checks here.
Yeah. Okay, looks like he is gonna be hitting up a couple of these checks over here.
Yeah, I think he's going to Paro's bottle. So basically, you can talk to her if you don't have a bottle. You can talk to her, and then Paro's giving you one check. Best case scenario is to combine healing Ariel and talking to her, and then you get 2 checks from Pero. But
Right,
obviously, we don't know where bottle are, so.
So you'd think with him starting that up, he's going to be doing a visit to Skyloft.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I understand it because you would think that there would be something to go deeper into Elden soon, right? Since that's like the only way we can go currently. It's either like Amber Tablet or deeper into Elden.
So it looks like then he's going to be doing some Beatrice, maybe potentially see Malara and Rattle as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we're doing Malara and Rattle, you would think that we're also going to see a Betrow check and possibly the end of Beatrice, because you want to do her as quickly as possible.
I don't know if finishing Beatrice right away.
I think you'll probably keep like as long as you have a lot of checks, it's probably like you can probably just keep playing and just hope. You probably also go for the Zelda Hut piece check which you didn't get earlier.
Before bomb bag on Beatrice.
I mean, it could be very well. Nice claw shot use here with the vines. For some reason.
Zelda heart piece. I love seeing Skyloft routing, because routing around time of day for different quests.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's fascinating.
There's so many things. So we'll see. So I think he's just sleeping today. Okay, that's what I was thinking about. So there is technically a gratitude crystal in here, but since the next check is gonna be 30, and he's like nowhere near it, I understand not like worrying about it. okay. 5 more gratitude crystals. So technically, the 230 rewards are in logic because there are 15 single gratitude crystals, and with beetle and claw shots, you can get all of them.
But now, if you have 15, do you get the 15 freestanding ones, or do you wait a little bit?
I would hope that I will at least get to like 20 before doing them.
Right.
And as long if you have like so many checks open, like all of Elden, basically, then I would like refrain from it. But it very much depends. Like if I'm going to Skyloft and I really only have Skyloft checks, I would maybe start considering routing in more gratitude crystals than I normally would, basically.
Well, and there are a lot of Skyloft checks right now. Like with the Hunred Beetle, we can also do, turn in the Beetle to Beetle. And that includes making it nighttime, which would make it easier to also complete Beatrice. So you gotta think these are things that are on his mind that he's weighing against whether or not to actually do.
So I can definitely see.
Speaking of,
I hope he talks to Beatrice first though, because he already slept. So he would waste his sleep here, and I think he forgot that he already slept because
he forgot that he slept until day already.
Yeah. So there's kind of a little bit of a waste here for some sleep, but it's fine. Wasting sleep, yeah. Yeah, so what we begin with in this is like a goddess sword, one open pillar, and the pouch.
So those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about Beatrice, essentially Beatrice check requires you to speak to Beatrice multiple times after an extended period of time between each talk. I believe it's 5 times, 6 times?
You have to talk it's 10 convos, but 2 are with a dad, so 8 with Beatrice.
Yeah.
And you have to sleep in between every convo.
Right. So it is a lot of time to set it up. Oh, and there's
Interesting.
Good
That's
comment.
very good. So that basically means Earth Temple. Like, there's even like a point, like there's even a thing where you could say like, let's just go and do Earth Temple, right?
Right.
Because that's what you can do right now. So that's something that's definitely to consider. But I think, knowing Jim, he's more the type of person that is clean. Like he likes to clean up stuff and not just take the first opportunity to leave.
Speaking
So
of
I think you
cleanup
can
stuff,
see him like clean Skyloft here.
speaking of cleanup stuff, I couldn't help but notice that Deer also went for the skip into the Lake Floria check. Interesting that he also chose to be a little bit more thorough and
Yeah.
grab that one, even though if it's out of logic.
Well, maybe he also thought about it as gambling and getting an advantage. You know, because he would assume that Gymnast is not doing it.
Right. He would assume that there's no need for Gymnast to do those.
Yeah.
Which is
I
another
could
type
see
of
that as well.
gambling, is going out of your way to do the checks that are a little bit longer that may or may not pay off.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll get. I think Gymnast will get like 5 single Creditus crystals here, which I think
He'll
is
go
like generally what you
5,
you know.
10, 20 then.
Yeah, I mean you don't get something on 20, so I'm not sure if he's gonna do right now. But like getting 5 single crystals in general is kind of like the rough estimate of what you want to do most of the time. Okay, he's gonna talk to Peter here, so you have to talk to Peter once before like a peer trees calls to darling. So we end up doing it quite early most of the time. I'll assume he also will end up doing Malara after Betrow. So I would do it after Betrow because if you leave Malara's house at night, you actually get some extra text, which is a little bit annoying. So
Okay.
ending on it, you can just sleep today and then you don't get the text.
Right. Looks like
So-
we're going for the baby rattle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also on the way. Baby Rattle and then over to Betrow. So I assume he'll also get the single Gratuitous Crystal here because otherwise he had to like go away later.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like nice that he made it nighttime. It's pretty good routing on his part.
Jim, you always go for that, and it never
Yeah.
takes your time. He's banking on the one time he actually gets it first try, and it saves him time.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, more.
Gratitude Crystal.
So now, yeah.
So
Well,
now do you go for the extra to get to 5th or to get to 30 is the question. Guess not.
yeah, it's difficult at this point. I think if you're so deep already, close to Betrow, it's probably not worth it to go out of your way to get the rest. They're like all near the academy, so like that's way too far
Right,
off.
yeah, the other side of the river, so it's
Yeah.
not really gonna go get it later, I think.
Yeah, definitely later.
Going in to do patrol. Meanwhile, Deer is getting the
bomb bag.
Eagle check. He'll
Hmm.
be getting his bomb bag as well.
Let's see if he decides to just go for Elden, which I think is definitely like something you can do here.
That's a play.
Yeah.
If
We'll
he wants to
see
make
how
it
good
so that he
Patrol will
doesn't
end up
die.
being, but
The thing is, though, is that with the placement of all these items, even if you're Deer, you have to think that you're going through this fairly quickly. Oh, Nehru's love, and it's
not too important though.
important. No. Oh,
All of the
another battle
gods.
with
Oh, that's a
Elton.
lot of more stuff. So, I mean, going to Elden right now as well also could be helpful because what sometimes is good to not get these items and then think you have to do certain things, right?
Right.
That's also something sometimes. Like, for example, I had like a seeding race where I didn't do Beatrice and Beatrice had developed the goddess. And luckily that was not required, and because of that I had like better time because I never went there.
Right. But what I was saying is, even if you're Deer right now, with how the progression has gone, you have to think that you're doing pretty well, at least in this race. I mean,
Yeah.
you made the play to do the early slingshot check, and that ended up being the beetle. You turn in the beetle, boom, you've got bomb bag. So the choices that you've made so far have all turned out to be fairly good.
Yeah. Definitely interesting that it's like such a double check from Slingshot, and Slingshot was very important after all.
It just happened to be that both runners did that smart thing.
So yeah. Let's see what Malara has. And let's see if the gas bills ends up being useful. I mean, credit crystals are nice, but often are not that required because there's so many of them.
Meanwhile,
Let's see if
Deer
Malara
can
has
do
something.
the Zelda check.
See what Malara has in her house that she's giving away for cleaning. Oh, the window was missing.
He's
I
good.
was about to say.
You always enter in panic mode when you finish up and you're not done yet.
Oh, wow. Malara really giving out the big ones.
Malara, you've never been to the surface. How'd you get that Elden ore there, Missy?
I don't know.
It's a sign, go to Elden. It is a sign, isn't it?
Yeah,
Will
I would
Deer
hope.
go to Elden is the question.
I would hope Gymnast goes there now. There's not much else to do.
There's like one check in fair and that
Well,
you can
it's
now
not really possible to say who's winning right now. It's way too early. Everything can happen
too
at
early.
this
We
point.
don't have all the items that we need.
Yeah.
This could end up being a race to the one last item, so there's really no way telling yet.
But currently, considering that both are doing somewhat of the same checks, Gymnast is ahead, considering doing checks. But that doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, a lot of pure trees advancement, but still, I think it's like halfway now. So still a lot to go.
I think Deer is a little bit further along in the Beatrice dialogue, though, because he did remember to talk to her before going to turn in the beetle.
Yeah, that could be very...
So he will have that going for him.
So Gymnast activating the spirit quest here. Very smart, because he knows he's one who wants to go to Elden, and you know, he has access to the crystal ball now with claw shots and bombs. And also probably another thing why going to Scala first before going to Elden was a good call, so you can activate this quest here.
Right. Grab the orb while you're down there.
Yeah.
It looks like Deer is also going to do the Betrow checks.
Yeah.
So
you know, not the best.
Also extend his Skyloft play rather than go to early Elden, and Gymnast now is going to be heading into Elden. It looks like
definitely a lot of stuff in Elden. I mean, without digging mids, like half of it is still not open, but Elden still has the most checks without any items, so it's still a very good place to go in general. And you know, there's like the decision between Thunderhead and Elden, and it's just way too little in Thunderhead right now. But it technically could be required right now. Maybe it's digging mids.
we'll see.
Yeah.
See what's in here. Everything so far has been pointing to Elden. Both dungeons are here. We got early claw shots, and we got the beetle. We got bombs. So you have to imagine.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going raid into magma turf, I guess. I'm not quite sure why.
Or he's going to be opening the
Oh, he's just opening the Earth Temple door.
Earth
Yeah,
Temple
that's
early. Yeah, he's probably just opening the Earth Temple early.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you do it.
You could get a heart piece in Elden, and he already had a decently low health, so might as well.
Yeah. I would have done it later just because you don't really need the entrance statue. So, like, later if you save a different statue, you can actually land there, you know, for, like, Elden Trial. But it really isn't, like, a big deal at all.
It's not that big a deal, but probably wants to
Oh,
make sure
apparently he also... Okay, just, yeah, he made his, okay, he just made his correct file, yeah. But yeah, I guess it's totally fine doing it right now. Actually, what he could be thinking, that's something I wanted to mention. There is a shortcut right at the start with bombs to go basically where the first slope is. And I was thinking about I wanted to say that Gymnast probably doesn't go for it, but considering he's doing the area right here,
he might be going.
He might just go for the shortcut. Yeah.
Interesting.
And ignore all the early checks here.
Which is risky because Elden with bombs, you've got quite a few checks you could do on your way up. So.
Definitely.
We'll see. We'll see if it pays off.
But I also understand the idea of doing what it is required first. You have to
And
do it
then
anyways.
backtracking from there if needed.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Okay, he's just doing it normally. I
Okay.
assume so. So he could have gone left there and then directly went to the Ellen trial area. But yeah, this is definitely like safer here. Using the claw shots here to blow it up early. Nice strat.
Oh, and there's the heart piece I was saying about.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting a heart piece when you're planning on doing a death warp, it feels bad.
It's always like that, yeah. You're routing around like in your low HP, and then you get like the one check and the one death warp afterwards, and then it's like heart piece, and like, come on.
Oh man.
Really?
Back to square zero.
Taking the damage here to be a little bit faster. Goddess Harp. That's a required item.
Interesting.
Very good.
Goddess Harp, not the last thing we need in the seed.
Interrupting the cutscene here.
Didn't know you could do that skip with the claw shots, but I guess it makes sense if you can do it with the slingshot though.
Yeah, you can do it with basically any item that can reach it. But if you kill it, you have to be a little bit careful because while it's dying, it still activates the cutscene.
Oh, so you have to wait till it actually like.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. More gratitude.
More.
We're looking for 30, which is 2 checks.
Right. So he literally just needs 2 single gratitude crystals left.
But I mean, we might just get more 5 packs here, so.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Ellen, so there's 3 more checks here you can get.
Yes, JMB Smash. So Harp is required. You need to have at least the Harp, 3 sword upgrades, and then complete the 2 dungeons that are hinted, which in this case are Earth Temple and Fire Sanctuary.
Yeah, the reason Harp is required because it allows you to raise the Gate of Time, which allows you to enter the past and enter the Demise fight, basically.
But I rudely interrupt you. You were saying?
No, it's fine. Was nothing of importance, just rambling a little bit of what I'm thinking about right now. Oh, that's what that was what I was thinking. Was saying like this getting like low in checks, and he probably goes for Earth Temple soon. But apparently the game is like, well, let's actually do Earth Temple. Everything.
Were you looking for the?
So just like a little strat here. If you actually go around first, you trigger one of the bokoblins that's on top. And you don't have to trigger manually, which is very nice. Making a little bit faster to kill bokoblins here.
Oh
wow!
God,
that's wow. Elden is stacked.
Bro.
Oh boy, that was up close.
They are flying right now.
Yeah, seems like Elden
wants to play.
It's interesting because if you think about it, he did not need bombs for any of this. He could have gambled and gone to Elden right away, and you would have had the sword, and the harp, and you could have still done Earth Temple because you don't need bombs really. I guess bombs is nice. I guess some checks might require it depending where the boss key is, but still, definitely interesting. So one more check in the cave here. And then a lot of checks now outside in Elden with digging mints. That's a lot now.
Yeah, it opens up quite a bit, interestingly enough.
Yeah, because there's an insane amount of digging spots here. And wow, more key pieces. Is Earth Temple like actually? Yeah, I actually think that it is like you get something in Earth Temple like the Amber Tablet. I think that's actually it. Ready to key pieces, and I mean, key pieces are not really required because of the RVM, right? But it's still nice to know. Nice skip, by the way, here from Gymnast skipping the Magma cutscene. Going here right away. But no circles, unfortunately.
Oh, he automatically loses. That's
yeah, true. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, Gymnast automatically loses the race because no circles.
Yeah, Jim did the slingshot check. was saying is that getting the key pieces is nice to know when the game actually wants you to go there logically. Because what often happens is because there are 5 required key pieces to enter Earth Temple, it ends up being late in logic and often doesn't have anything. And sometimes it's even better to just decide to not do it, right? Because you're like, okay, it's probably pretty late. But getting so many key pieces early definitely is like another indication to be like, okay, let's go there right away.
It might have something that's lower sphere.
Exactly.
You might need.
It's definitely something to also think about. So that's something nice with getting key pieces, even though they're, you know, with RBM can mostly be skipped. It's still nice to know if you like actually go there logically or not.
Yes, Gymnast did do the beetle check. In fact, both of them did. That's how they got the bombs because, or sorry, they did the slingshot check is what I mean, because the slingshot check had the horned rhino beetle, and they turned that into beetle for the bomb bag.
Definitely a good chain there.
Which anyone could have easily missed, interestingly.
Yeah.
They both made the right choice. Coming into Elden with bombs is a very pog feeling. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, if you get hit there while there, that's very bad. A lot of damage. Wonder if he saved at the statue here that's near here. I tend to sometimes do that because I'm always scared of dying around here. Especially...
If he doesn't realize he has bombs, he can run over there and...
I think what he might have think of is that
another key piece.
yeah, vanilla key piece, even. Let's go.
Even randomizer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely think all keys will be here. If there's so many already. I would be surprised. And scale, as I said.
Just as we said, yeah.
Scale is here as well.
Which means that other key piece is now in logic.
Yeah.
So all the key pieces that we found so far are now in logic, and he's gonna be picking up this orb for iDude.
Yeah. So I feel like this hints towards Elden being the next progression, which is very nice. Makes it a little bit more smoother for Gymnast here.
Mm-hmm. Now, did Deer start the iDude quest? I don't remember.
Not
seeing
sure.
it.
Maybe.
I missed it, but I don't remember seeing him do it.
Yeah, I mean it's somewhat over the other way, and it's very, very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget. But yeah, he can't quite avoid. I'm surprised he even avoided the first time because this is a huge trigger with the cutscene for some reason, as you could see right there.
Yep.
Going a little bit of a platform manipulation here, but I don't think it really helps because you actually go for this check. I'm not sure if that actually keeps freezing the timer, but maybe it does, since the camera is still off. Ah, wow.
Okay.
It's out of the way. Well, so basically, what the RBM does, it's, you know, sets the flags for the doors to be open. And when the doors are open, the intro cutscene starts as soon as you're close to the...
Oh, you missed the rope.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Barely make the side there.
Basically, the cutscene triggers the moment you're close to it if you have the door open. Should have done key seed.
And Deer got his sword upgrade.
Nice. Aim for the hit here to be safe. Sometimes can be very trolly.
I have been trolled by that dude before.
Yeah, for sure.
I was about to go for the Skyward strike actually one time for the ball, and he hit me into the lava.
Yeah, that's
so
the
with
worst.
4 hearts, I died, and it was a feels bad moment.
Oh yeah, that really sucks.
Yeah, he can troll pretty hard.
So these bombs, yeah, that's just rolled over. So that's really hard to do right here. I would rather place it instead of throwing it.
I would place it and do a slash, honestly, or even
But Gymnast's going for it. I mean, yeah, that's good. That's good.
There you go. Ideally, you just want to get it to stop rolling while it's still on top of the platform.
I also think just going for damage is a good play, especially since we'll probably see the bridge RBM as well here. And you want to be on low health anyway, so I think just taking the damage. Well, I guess.
It's not really.
Never mind me.
The game doesn't. The game just wants to give you a hard time. Hey, bring
Apparently.
Rodolfo's back. We need him.
So I wonder where the progression is in here. Everything is open, so could be everywhere. Bombs here, very nice.
Yeah, we've already gotten 3 of the 5 keys that you normally would need to open up the.
Yeah, no circles for D, unfortunately.
No circles for
no cutscenes. I guess I don't know if Clashot reaches.
The winner of this race is preferred.
Nice. Yes. Advance. Let's go.
Just forget the 20. You're done. Just move on.
Oh.
Oh. I think that was intentional. Maybe.
Yeah.
It looked intentional.
So I really wonder if Clashot just doesn't reach, or if Gymnast just thought Clashot doesn't reach and just didn't even try.
Maybe.
I mean, you could cutscene skip with the beetle, but I mean at this point, might as well.
There's another song piece.
Oh boy, they're early.
2 of them this early in the run.
Just talking about my last seed again. There was Skill of Try was actually required as well there, and it was for a bottle. Because Para was required.
Oh, ew. Oh, that's gross.
So gross.
That's so gross.
After getting the 40 check as well. That was rough.
No,
Yeah,
I want to see early trials. Like, come on, let's do this. None of this last sword upgrade bullcrap. Give me an early trials required.
I mean, there could be a trial chain, as someone suggested, which is really funny.
Alright, now Gymnast has to damage down for the RBM. So what he's doing now, for those guys who don't know, is what's called an RBM, reversed bit magic, where essentially he's going to use the pause or the main menu of the game where he can still move around, and he's going to be able to change a bit in memory for the save file that he loads up at a specific time. And that'll essentially change something in the game that he wants. And the specific thing that he's going to want to change is the flag of the stairs being up. Those of you guys who remember playing this game casually, you have to do this whole walking on the boulder across lava segment on the east side of the game, and it takes a long time to go through Earth Temple.
Yeah.
And that's all to lift up that staircase to progress further into the dungeon. So essentially, he's going to be doing this reverse bit magic to make the game think that he's already done that. And that'll allow him to skip it.
Yeah. And one very nice thing about it is that... Yeah.
Have we seen... Oh, sorry, I was to cut you off. Have we seen this from Deer on Gymnast?
No, these are new checks, and we've seen one key piece there as well. These are new checks we have not seen from Gymnast as well, so...
So again, I guess unless Jim ends up grabbing these at the end, this is Deer being more thorough.
I guess, yeah. Well, I guess he probably decides to take it later. I mean, he kind of got like forced into Elden after getting the intro cutscene.
True.
So yeah, what I was saying is, the only thing he still needs to do here is to die again to actually reload the area, and then the bridge will be raised. And the good thing about that is that they actually made like the way with the boulder through. Wow. So it might be a very fast seed actually. Like this is we're pretty close to a lot of Fire Sanctuary requirements. It's very interesting. So dying here.
What are
very
we
nice
missing
strat,
for real mode? We're missing 2 swords and... Is that it?
Well, we need to reach Fire Sanctuary, so the Fire Shield earrings at least,
Oh, yeah, the Fire
and
Shield
a bottle.
And a bottle, that is true.
And everything else could be okay. Interesting. Could be skipped. I just want to point out that it was a really nice way of dying there by Jim using the fire. I don't know what do you call it, vent. I don't know, spiral, whatever, and then
Yeah.
still hitting the lava like a double hit.
Yeah, very good death warp.
Yeah.
Some of these dungeons, you end up having to backtrack a lot after getting some checks.
And the mini needs to die anyways for the bridge, so that's very nice. So as I said, so there's a way through here. It's very nice because there's actually one chest on the end of the lava maze, but we can go through. So
Oh, that is so trolly. Deer trying to use the beetle to stun the bokoblin. Bokoblin ends up throwing the boulder onto the beetle.
wow,
Yeah, and so
big
now he
brain
has to.
play there. I hope he knows. I guess he could just use the vent.
And there's the key.
Oh,
There's the dragon sculpture.
that's nice. For some reason, I don't know why, but I've seen it so often, that chest. But it's just a, bias by only having so little of seeds. So yeah, I mean, there has to be some progression. We've seen the other checks from Deer, and there was nothing of note. So either boss key chest or Scaldera or the Amber Tablet check has to have something.
I'm calling Amber Tablet on the,
Amber Tablet?
I'm calling the what is it for Lanayru?
The Amber Tablet is the name of it.
On Scaldera.
Yeah. What would be funny would be vanilla Amber Tablet. Which is possible. I think
Hey.
there was some seeding race where that actually was the case, and Amber Tablet was vanilla. Very funny. So some stutter sprinting here to get up here. Avoiding all the puzzle stuff here. One funny thing is you always have to do this check with the boss key in order to reach the door, even if you were go mode, for example. Otherwise, the lava doesn't go away from in front of the boss door.
Right.
You're having some problems. I don't think he knows that he can get past the bokoblin without needing I guess he gets some health here. Okay. You could get past the bokoblin without the need of the beetle or anything, but you need to run up and then just let him throw,
Right.
and then just fall down and then run up again.
You,
And then
you
you're fine.
stutter sprint a little bit, don't you? Or can you do a stutter sprint?
You can do it with yeah. Stutter sprinting is nicer because it's easier to keep stamina and still triggering him. But basically the easiest way is just run up a little bit and then just fall back to the platform and then run up all the way.
What's he looking for?
I think he had problem going past that bokoblin.
Right.
You could also go through here and using the vent here, go to the left. Oh, well, I was unlucky.
Fire killer, by the way, on the boss key.
Oh. Wow.
So that happened. Very, very baby seed.
Wow. So if we just get bottle here, it's like Fire Sanctuary next.
Yeah, and then we'll have 2 swords on Fire Sanctuary, right? And then
Well, or we have 2 swords at the end of the world.
that's true.
So if you time the bomb here, you can actually hit this. Hopefully he knows or tries. So you place it down first, exactly, and then you wait for it flashing quickly, and then that was a little bit too early.
That was a little early.
Wait for it flashing quickly, and then you can throw it. So right, yeah, that's a little bit late.
Too late. 2 swords behind a trial chain, yes.
True.
See, that's where it's at.
That's
I'm
good.
down for that.
There we go, he got it.
Yep, we got it. Gymnast doing Zelda right now. One
Oh,
heart,
he
but
should not damage him. He has to be careful. He doesn't damage himself. Okay.
he shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, but normally it's just some habit maybe, because normally you do damage down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and old any percent or old dungeons or others, because normally you're not low health here. And you use that.
Professional, he's got it.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So something here has to be. We've seen all digging spots by now. I guess the bottle again, or it is in Volcano Summit. There is one check we can get in Volcano Summit. That's like, oh, I guess there's all of Thunderhead. I forgot, yeah.
Yeah, we got Thunderhead still.
And right, Scale also unlocks a few checks. I guess 2 more. There's still some. I guess I'm just feeling it because there were so many key pieces early.
Right.
But
Well, this is something that's interesting to note. We talked about Deer potentially skipping out on certain things. Had he skipped out on that
Ooh, you were
early-
right.
Had he skipped out on that early lake check, he would have saved a lot of time because now he's got to go back. Now they both got to go back.
I mean, Amber Tablet, as Spec said on Scaldera,
Let's
definitely.
see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Come on.
We actually got it on the heart container from Scaldera.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did actually.
Oh my gosh.
So my
Wait,
prediction
that
was
Din's
correct.
power. Did it say that it was useless? I didn't catch the dialogue for Din's power.
Oh, don't maybe chat saw.
Useful. It said it might be needed. Yes! Yes! Let's go.
We actually. Oh, I guess it's one of the. Oh, I guess it's the other digging spot.
Din, wait. Hear me out. Hear me out. Din's power for the last piece of the Song of the Hero or the first bottle.
True. So now it's gonna be the decision here. He has all of Lenevru and a trial. I think he most likely goes for Lenevru as it
Yeah,
seems.
he's probably gonna go Lanayru, honestly. Even when you're already here, you don't. It feels kind of bad to do a trial.
Yeah, I think if it was for less checks, okay, but like all of. I mean, I guess he still. I mean, he could still do it. He still needs to get like the 2 digging spots, which is probably why he's going here, in the first place. But still,
Yeah.
like I think so many checks are open. Not really
Chat
required.
Din for furores for the last Song of the Hero for the bottle.
Oh boy. I mean, you guys have to remember there are like 5 bottles.
That's
so.
my kind of seed.
Having like a bottle required is kind of hard, but I mean there are.
Maybe for last sword upgrade then.
Yeah. I mean, my seed was just very unlucky where the bottle was required because I already did all the checks. There's so much open here, I assume there would be a bottle somewhere. But I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
already have the baby rattle.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they delivered it already.
No, they have not delivered it
Yeah.
yet.
So we know there's not really much of importance left here.
A lot of crystals. We're all the way up to 40 now.
Yeah. And 5 more, and you can actually get all the rewards. Or at least I would, but you can't get it right now, of course. But I would assume it like more. What I would do basically, if it would be like 5 that I would need.
Right.
So we're still here in front of the decision. So it seems like
Deer
Deer actually did
Gave
spare it.
out
because
on
he's-
Earth Temple. Gave up on trying to get to Earth Temple.
Yeah, he's now delivering. I mean, we know that Earth Temple is very important, so that's unfortunate for him. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. We're still looking for a lot of stuff, and what often ends up in rando is that people end up doing some things anyway, since you know.
Exactly. Well, an Earth Temple had the Fire Shield earrings, the digging mitts, or sorry,
Yeah,
the Mogul mitts.
yeah,
and
another-
the Rainbow tablet.
Okay, yeah. So no trial and no volcano summit. He's not going for the one check in there. All too much out of the way for him right now.
See what I do has.
Yes, but I think Gymnast only missed one key piece, and I assume that there's another key piece in Lake Floria, or in the
Right.
Thunderhead.
Or it could be that one bomb locked check in Farron.
Oh, true. There's like actually 2
Yeah.
there. So yeah, that's for sure. There's a lot of
options for it, I guess. Barrel being empty is unfortunate, yeah.
It's iDude, guys. Get it right.
Yeah, that's iDude guy.
His name is iDude.
Exactly. Okay, so apparently a gymnast going for right now for Petro, not going. I don't know. I would have. Did he?
Oh, there's Spirit Courage. It's not useful. Sag.
I wonder if he. Oh wow, another sword.
upgrade.
Getting crystal dowsing as well here. I would have maybe tried to delay Petro just because I feel like 50 is in reach basically, and there's so many other checks. I would have delayed Petro here just so I don't have to do like another trip.
Right.
Okay, never mind. I mean, I guess he still needs to.
Yeah, he still needs to go and get 2 of them, but you can easily take the beetle and like
Yeah.
go around the waterfall or something. There's 2 there.
Yeah.
Leave, get the 2 waterfall ones. Oh, but it's night. It's daytime.
Yeah, it's daytime exactly. That's the thing. That's why I would have waited, so you don't
Right.
have to do all of this,
Just
like
2
go
more.
there twice.
I guess it was 7 more that he needed.
Yeah, you need 7 more.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see what it said.
Did it say it wasn't useful?
It's something about reveal, and I think that's actually, I don't know if that, I think, yeah, it's required, right? I read something about reveal, and that normally means it's needed.
Required. So we got 2 of them. Eldon and Farron.
I mean, we've got a lot of 5-pack credit crystals out of the way already, so it's more likely for something good,
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I mean, the side quest items we also got, so.
I asked for a Silent Realm seed and it delivered.
Neighbors is not needed. That's the only song we know that's not needed.
Right. The other 2 are, and we don't know Song of the Hero yet, but we got 2 of the Song of the Hero parts very early, so it's possible that the 3rd one is close by as well.
Yeah.
And usually when something is early required or early found, it normally means that it could have something good.
Yeah. But I mean, for one check, it's not as easy to predict as for other stuff, but for sure, yeah.
And we don't need a lot anyways, so it's like, how much more could be locked behind Song of the Hero?
Yeah, I mean, mainly need like a bottle, another sword. Hook beetle could be required.
Depending on the layout of the stuff.
Where the boss key is in Fire Sanctuary. And other than that, we're mostly good.
Alright, we're gonna see Colin's letter and Baby Rattle.
Yeah. There's one thing to note.
Letter.
Yeah. That there's now a lot, and I'm saying a lot of checks. So, although, it looks like it could be over soon, we're like, there's a lot of open right now because we have closets and Amber Tablet open, so. And bombs, and everything, basically. When it comes to progression in Lineator.
Yeah,
So.
like Deer doesn't know how to do the RBM into Earth Temple, so he's hoping that he'll run into the keys, which
Yeah, I mean he'll run into them soon. Again, I think there probably is one. I think that Thunder has 2 little checks. I would assume Farron.
going for this check here.
That could also be it. I mean,
nice little convergence here of routes.
that's funny. Yeah. Reverse postmortem.
More gratitude crystals.
Oh, so he doesn't have to get for the single ones. And now there's another thing where you could think, well, Jim could have gotten none single crystals, for example. Yeah, and that's like that's a very interesting. I think single crystals are very interesting when it comes to routing.
Because you could
especially
like you don't know when you're gonna get the packs, It's
yeah.
hard.
I mean, it could be blocked at some point, right? I mean, it could be that like Eldon is like a dead end, and you actually have to farm the single crystals to get the next, like the Amber Tablet, for example.
Also worth noting that we are past the hour mark, and I don't think we've seen Beatrice yet, have we?
No, I think the players have so many other checks that are like, you know what?
Let's just not.
It's been pretty stacked in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad, but I mean, claw shots early definitely opens up a lot as always.
Also to note that Betro did not have anything on 50.
Interesting, yeah. So yeah, I hope he'll go for Lenevu soon here. I mean, after all, you know, maybe Song of the Hero is on Beatrice.
Dude. We
Seems like
got
he's gonna go for
We're
Lenevu.
doing some singles right now. Just knocking them out. All the single gratitude crystals. All the
Yeah.
single gratitude crystals.
I mean, he doesn't know that, you know,
Right.
the piece, you know, isn't there, so I understand that.
Didn't you find a 5-pack or 2 in Earth Temple as well? So
Yeah,
that's
Gymnast. Oh, I guess Gymnast doesn't know that's not. Yeah. Well, CJ didn't pick this for. Unfortunately, you can't get treasure dowsing in the tourney version, and he doesn't know that. So basically, what he wanted to do, though, he wanted to get the treasure dowsing here, and that's something that the newest version has. But the tourney has decided, in order to not change too much, to not make that possible.
He's trying to
Oh
get
boy,
the,
Gymnast is really trying to get the treasure dowsing.
the game does not want to give it to him.
It's not, unfortunately, not in. He would need to beat Sandship, which seems not what his plan is.
No.
Yeah, so treasure dowsing is not like the tourney version doesn't give treasure dowsing. That's something the newest version does. That version. And you know, he probably knew that it was in the tourney in the dev version. So
Why would it be useful? So it's possible to treasure douse an area without actually having to go to that area, and you can eliminate it as a possible check.
it can tell you if a chest or a freestanding item is treasure. So it's basically like very good. So that's why
Like,
Gymnast wanted it.
A check that you can't go to yet, but you have treasure dowsing. You can douse, and if it's treasure, then you'll know, okay, I don't actually have to come back to this later.
Yeah, that's just in general, like, a lot of stuff you can just avoid. Like, for example, like the chest at the end of mines, you can just douse up there, and if it's treasure, like, no, let's just keep going, you know? That's with all the checks. So definitely nice to have, but I understand, you know, we didn't want to change it too much from the seeding races, so that's why we kept the gameplay mostly the same, and that includes not gaining the ability to douse for treasure and rupee dowsing. But crystal dowsing is possible, which only works for freestanding items, unfortunately. Rupee dowsing does work on chests as well. It's basically what the vanilla game did. Just for crystals, it obviously doesn't work on chests because crystals are normally not chests.
Right.
But rupees and treasure are, so that's why it works.
All right. Is Deer gonna make the Lineru play?
Interesting save here. Is he once you get the like? Not sure where he's saved. I guess he might wanna get. I don't know. He doesn't. Oh, Death Warp. Death Warp. He's going for that. There we go. Now I understood. He's going for Death Warp. Oh yeah, safe scum. Right, Death Warp wouldn't quite work. It would be a safe scum. Never mind.
Yeah. He wants to go see if there's anything in Thunderhead, and if there isn't, he can just
I think
Death
it's
Warp out.
very interesting because like what are you looking for? Lineru is completely open. Like you're really only looking for like swords and like the hook beetle. So would it make more sense to just go for where there are many checks? Like it's not really like whip is the only thing that you could like potentially get here, right? So I think this I don't think that's the best decision by Jim, in my opinion.
Oh, you're talking about gotcha.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, okay, next thing is like getting the most checks at once as possible, right? And that's
Right.
like Lanayru.
Dense
And-
areas.
And there's like nothing you really like need to unlock stuff in Lanayru right now. You can basically do everything. So I don't know. The only thing that would unlock like 2 more checks or 3 more checks is the whip in Sansi.
Right.
And I think that it's not really worth to go here for.
Yeah. And that's if you go as far as Sansi, honestly.
I mean, I guess okay, he can do the end chests in Fire Node, I guess. But I mean, like, that's like it's so unlikely. Like even if he does the safe scumming, he still loses like 3 minutes. And there's so many more checks in Lanayru.
Yeah.
Even with the safe scum, I think this is considered to be slow. But I mean, if it pays off, and I'm wrong, you know? Like,
I mean, he's not losing any time because guess who else is going there?
true.
Oh, there's
Okay,
the
yeah.
hook beetle.
Never mind. Yeah, I guess it was the right play. I mean, I guess if Hook Beetle ends up being necessary, I guess.
More
should
gratitude
say.
crystals.
Well, called it, I wouldn't quite say. I wouldn't quite call it, but I mean, it could still be just a red herring, you know? Who knows?
We'll see if those checks. I guess that's not true. I was gonna say if those checks don't have anything, then Deer would have an advantage. But he's also going to be getting the hook beetle, so he's also going to be doing those checks.
Yeah. But I mean, Hook Beetle might be required, as you said. But it could also lead to people, you know, going for slower Fire Sanctuary route because they have the Hook Beetle and end up losing time to it. Because it's not required. You know, because if you have all the required items, you're looking for a boss key. What people often do is not really do much of RBM stuff and to get all the checks.
Yes, this is Skyward Sword HD, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
They
For sure.
moved out some items in chests, so these people are just figuring
Yeah,
out.
that's just we're just figuring out the game right now. It's like a pre-release. We're really
Figuring.
surprised where the items are actually. Like Hook Beetle in like Isles of Songs. That's kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
I mean, that's sure.
Nintendo's putting down.
You know, making the game fresh. You know.
I have never seen this method of doing the Isle of Songs before. I think he realized he messed up.
That might be. Man, like I'm really a different player from Jim. he's so cleaning up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I mean, that's honestly totally a fair method as well.
Oh.
I'm just interesting, I guess. Because my brain is like, well, let's go for the most checks.
Nope, can't do that way. Nope,
Oh boy.
separate them, dude.
Oh boy.
Deer, don't do it, dear. Oh no.
Oh.
No.
Why do you? Okay, sure. He'll figure it out.
He'll get it. Then it's just grabbing this last check here. Or is there one more? I can't remember.
That's the last check.
Alright. Not worth.
Yes.
Okay, Jim. Lanayru.
Nah, he's gonna do the 2 bomb checks and Farron, and you know.
Totally.
Maybe find something else to do. Maybe he goes for the Volcano Summit chest, you know.
Go back for the summit chest. do the silent trial in Farron and in Alden.
I've told you he's going back into Farron.
He wants it to be he's going back in Farron.
I
Dude,
mean,
he's the pro. He's the pro, not us. Watch this pay off.
yeah, I mean, every check can pay off. I'm just thinking about like check densities. Normally, something I think of, you know. But
I want to ask him that though. I want to ask why he prolonged Lanayru after the race.
definitely like an interesting thought. Yeah, there's
Because
so many other things he could have done.
neither of us would have done that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could maybe see Hook Beetle being something you really looked for, but he got that, right? Like, I mean, Hook Beetle only opens 3 checks in Lenabru, and Lenabru has like 30 without it, so like, I don't know.
Like I said, this could be the big brain strat.
I mean, I mean, maybe he's just looking for going to Fire Sanctuary and just ignoring
there's
Lenabru.
TPs.
Last key piece. Okay, so it was behind here. So that's where Deer needs to go.
I called it too. I said. It could
Yeah.
be there.
There's another bomb check here, and then let's see if he decides to
The
go
heart
to
piece
Volcano
is
Summit,
here.
to the Trial, or to Lenabru. Nice, knocking himself back to the left. Heart container. So Farron was not useful at all, at least for Jim, since he
Is
doesn't
it
need
possible,
to.
even if he gets crazy bad RNG to live?
He's going for a trial.
Absolutely, yeah. It could be in a trial, and he could
He's
pose.
definitely going for a trial.
Yeah, he's doing the trial now. Where is he?
Okay.
No,
Oh no,
he's
he's.
doing
Oh, he's. Did he
test.
start it?
Yeah, he did start it.
Okay.
Doing
Good.
the Allen check.
That makes
Might
that
be
makes
trial after.
that makes more sense. I don't know. I would be surprised if he goes for a trial if you have like all of the neighbor open. But again,
He's here. He backtracking would feel bad at this point. If there is something in the Farron trial, backtracking would be.
and I mean, he could probably
Deer's
like.
going there too. What the heck, dude? Deer's
Well, I mean,
going
Deer
there
has
too.
to go here. He doesn't have Amber Tablet,
That's true.
and this is where the last key piece is. So that's actually required for him.
The thing is, though, is that Deer doesn't have the Farron song. So if there's something on the Farron song and Gymnast does it, that could be big.
Yeah. I mean, I think what might be Jim's mindset here is that he actually, he knows he's like better, than the 4th seed here, and he thinks, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go I'll do all the things that someone could like take from me, and I
Be
would still be faster, Like
Yeah.
someone could gamble on the Farron trial, but I decide to do it, so that's not a possible gamble anymore.
Like
Basically,
that's the thing, though, is that like he is playing extremely safe, but even playing safe isn't in itself a risk.
True. That is true.
Because your adversary could be playing super risky, and all the checks that you're going out of your way to get could be useless.
Okay, so let's see. He's delivering Olin first before going to the neighbor. Of course,
And he's not doing this, and he's not doing the silent realm.
I do understand delivering first though, because you do want to get the party will as well. So I understand that at least. It's still funny though that he's delaying the neighbor for so long. Yeah, the neighbor is not needed. That
the
we
other
know
two,
of.
however, that we found are needed. Both the Eldon and the Farron say that they could have something.
So why I would like go to the neighbor basically is because like all the load zones and everything, like the check density is just way lower, and he would have gotten so more checks at this point, right? If he just gone for Lenebru. And one of these could have already given him go mode, because he's quite close to go mode,
Unless this is a bottle.
Bottle. That is true. Then he doesn't go to Lenebru.
Unless this is a bottle and he's just Omega brained us. No.
Farron was completely useless.
Yep. And there's the war.
Reset. Oh, so he saved somewhere along the way. I'm not sure where. Oh, in Farron. Makes sense.
He saved in. Is he doing the? Do it. Do it.
No, he just saved scum. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
He's going for it.
Sure.
Here we go.
Man.
Let's see it. Let's do
So
it.
crazy.
If this is something, I hate saying it, but Deer is way behind. Because Deer would have to go to Earth Temple to get the song, to then come back here to do the trial. If it's nothing and he skips it, then this is a chance for him to catch up.
I'm not really sure if the save scum was that much better, but if you don't go for the trial, but if you go for the trial, it's not too bad. I just don't know. Like there's like 30 checks that are neighbors. I mean I guess you know it could be required, but there's still a few gratitude crystals in the pool, and like slingshot could be in there, which will be useless. Bow would basically be useless. Would also be considered progression.
A lot of useless things that, although aren't needed, could open checks to things that are needed.
Yeah, but I mean that's why I'm saying like slingshot bow and gratitude crystals would not open anything, but everything else would technically, yeah.
Yeah, the whip would open something in the sea.
Sensi. Yeah, but it's only like 3 checks as well, so it really is not nice to get. Like that would be like the worst, one of the worst
all we
things.
need is 3 checks. That's all we need.
So the seed shard can't be because that's not, we don't have sandship required. At least I think it's not in a pool then. I mean the bottle would be nice, don't get me wrong, and would keep Lenebru for a while. Bottle charge could just lead to a lot of, I don't know, like at that point, like I don't know. If he goes for all the spiral checks, I don't know anymore. Because they're really far out of the way. Like it's Levias and the 2 boulders. But I mean, maybe he does them. So I don't think spiral charge is that good to get either. But a lot of things where I'm like, that's why I'm not sure about trials here, but I do understand it. Because you might need what it reveals, so.
For the Fire Sanctuary RBMs, do I need to get a certain file set up early on? I don't think so, because a lot of the RBMs have to do with the bird statues in...
Yeah, you don't need. You don't need anything.
Because you're using the bird statue in Skyloft, so you would just start your game and then activate Bazaar and Upper Academy ones.
Yeah, basically every statue
Pretty
gives
much,
you something.
yeah.
Depending on what you're doing.
You don't need a preset file for it.
Yeah.
That's actually an interesting question. Is that allowed to do the RBMs that require like preset files? If they're
I mean, if you do the files while playing, it's totally fine.
So, but just to clarify, having preset files and using those for RBMs is or is not allowed.
You're not allowed to start with any save data.
Okay, then that's
thank you. But you could, just see spiral charge. So let's see. I mean, there are 3 checks he now gets, but I don't know. I feel like they're still far out of the way. No, and now they're even deeper into like new spheres.
Still alive. The required Island Realm.
Required Farron trip is still in there.
It's still there. But again, if it's not anything, if there's nothing in those checks, then Deer could skip them and gain some time back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it could be very big red herring here. Again, the spiral checks are quite far out of the way.
Yeah, so he's gonna be going out of his way to get those after already having gone out of his way to do the Silent Realm.
Yeah. Okay, he also is gonna get the Battle of the Goddess check here, which is something he has to do anyway. So.
Right. He's gonna eventually do it. Might as well get it here because it could be a bottle.
So one thing I know is that Gymnast technically tries to avoid Levias, so I would assume he does that here as well.
Right.
I think that goes a little bit too far, even with being clean and everything. That goes a little bit too far.
You gotta be kidding me, Granny.
Key.
Was it a bird upgrade? Yeah, it was the spiral charge for the bird, which unlocks 3 checks, I believe.
Yes. So 2 breakable boulders in the sky and the Levi's fight.
Mm-hmm. But I can't see them doing the Levi's fight. Like you said, especially Gymnast. He doesn't really like doing it.
Yeah, at least that's what happened like in a different seeding race. So he decided against it even though he had it open for a while. And a lot of other players did, but he didn't end up doing it. Which worked for him, so...
Exactly. HD Groose. I seen the gameplay of the new Skyward Sword HD. I can't tell the difference. It doesn't look any better. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't look.
Except for Groose, because Groose always looks better.
Groose just looks fabulous regardless.
Yeah.
He just looks fabulous, period.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something. I mean, I guess it's
Well, yeah, there's obviously a difference, but it's like a Twilight Princess HD difference, is what I'm saying.
and I mean some people are also used to playing on Dolphin. We can actually up this resolution as well.
Right, but even me, I don't play on Dolphin. I only ever speedran on the Wii, and yeah, I didn't see anything. But again, maybe I'll actually play it.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I mean. 64. I think device in general. But I don't know. Maybe he has like a different. I mean, maybe he just has like a different mindset for this particular seeding race. Maybe he had just had a plan, and be like, okay, I'm gonna be very clean. Don't allow gambles or stuff.
Right, which is a good
Because
strat. Like
yeah.
it's a solid strat, but a lot of people misunderstand. Being thorough and getting all the checks that are open to you as they come is also a gamble because it takes a
Yes,
lot. of
technically,
time.
if they just plays normally and like if he had like done the REM and got the Ember tablet and everything and just went to Lanero right now, he could be in go mode, right?
Exactly.
Because if he'd done the REM, he wouldn't need to go to Farron again, and he probably wouldn't have not. So
Speaking of, looks like he's going to do the check with the spiral charge at the very edge of the map.
yeah,
We'll
and that
see.
means he might just get pumpkin soup because it's close.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh.
Oh, unfortunate.
I don't think
It's
I've
a little
ever,
bit tricky sometimes.
I don't think I've seen anyone get that. The spiral charge plus the fall into the thing. They always have to go around.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. You just have to go for a real early one. The problem is sometimes you go for a really long flight, and then the speed just increases and increases, and
Deer's
you
doing
forget
Elder
to.
Silent Realm. Deer's doing Elder Silent Realm. Let's go. Let's go.
That's a good gamble. Like this could be bottle. Let's be honest, and that could be mean he could do Earth Temple, Fire Sanctuary, and just win the seed. Like for real. If Gymnast now goes to Lanero, I think. So if this is bottle, then it could be the biggest upset ever.
Also to note that Jim still hasn't found. He didn't find anything on that first check with the spiral charge. He's going to do another one now, I think.
Well, that could also be a thing. Yeah, he could just do that check.
I think he's going to do that check and then
Here,
do.
please.
Arrow.
Get the song, please. Please.
You could do it. Hey, strumming is hard, okay? Strumming is
It is hard. It is hard, but I'm so excited. So I want to see what it is. And
Save face. Strumming is hard, guys. All right.
so as I'm saying, if this is bottle, and Gymnast is not getting bottle for a
No,
while,
it's not. Does he? The question now is, does he go to Lanero or does he? Okay, he's going Lanero. I was gonna ask about Love Life.
yeah, he didn't get the pumpkin soup, so probably not.
Starts
But
up
again,
with-
I mean, Gymnast could be, a very long in Lanero. And that would be so sad after Gymnast gone for everything, that's like kind of out of the way, except for the Elden Trial.
Right.
And the Elden Trial is the thing that he would actually be looking for. Because if this is bottle, I'm telling you, I mean that means he has Hook Beetle, he will get Magma Mids inside Earth Temple. Like, if this is bottle, he could do Earth Temple and Fire Sanctuary, and if Fire Sanctuary just has everything that we need, then
Deer's having calibration problems. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah.
And I mean, Din's power was open quite early,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like-
there's something here. If it's a bottle here, and then the other swords are in.
Like around Summit, then
Yeah.
like he's
That's
ahead then. Like he's actually ahead because
Yeah.
Gymnast will go through all of Lanero.
Lanero's massive. Like you said to yourself, it's so check dense, but it's also so long.
Yeah, I mean it's just a lot of checks. But if they're all bad, then yeah, it's long.
So if this is a bottle in here,
Oh
or hold on a second, hear me out. What if in the last 3 checks in Sandsea, there is something, and this Elden Trial has the
Whip.
whip.
Oh boy.
Oh, and he
Oh,
can
yeah.
body, no!
Yeah, you have to wait a little bit there. He didn't know that. If you get caught up there, you have to wait and get the guy to move.
At least it was early. At least he got bodied early, so he didn't lose too much time.
Well, you can't reach Fire Saint. Well, you can't reach Fire Saints right now, actually, because the first flames, you can't RBM them away.
True.
Like I mean, you can RBM, but you need like a very good setup and stuff. You know, that's just without a bottle, you really. It's very deep in. Oh, I guess gas spells might be the thing you need actually. That's true. You can do the second. You do have the practice swords flag, so you can do the second one. Yeah, I don't remember. It might be gas spells. So yeah, no, yeah, he could do it, but still,
No.
oh boy. I mean, there is a tier he can get. Oh yeah, I mean, don't reset, please.
Don't reset, dude. Come on, you got this. I believe in you.
Maybe he's resetting his calibration right now or something.
Hopefully.
Man, it's so crazy that this could be so huge. Like, if this trial is something and Lanayru for some reason is completely empty.
He forfeited.
What? Really?
Yeah.
No. That's sad.
Oh man, that feels bad.
Oh, we might never know what this trial has now.
No. If he just tries again and does this trial, it could have something important.
Again, if he got the bottle here, he would have been ahead.
Yeah, if he got bottle here, he would be actually really ahead.
I mean, that obviously builds on Fire Sanctuary having something useful, but I mean, at least the chance of being ahead was in here, right?
Yeah.
So very unfortunate here. I mean, I kind of understand it. He might felt like, you know, being behind Gymnast probably, and you know, failing and stuff. They do understand, you know.
Yeah, he already struggled a little bit getting into Earth Temple and had to give up on that.
Yeah. Alright, insane roll by Gymnast there. Sorry, I had to mention that. That was such a good use of the roll there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
yeah,
crazy how
really
optimized.
Good at that small optimal movement.
Yeah, it is so insane with Skyward Sword. Like, how insane movement can be. It's something. It's so crazy. And how important it is, even. Oh, not too important, unfortunately. Song of the Hero, not important.
Ah,
So bad, guys.
Okay, we've got two of them. Even though we may not see Elden, although I'm hopeful still.
Yeah. Yeah, Gymnast still needs.
He was having a hard time with the calibration, and then it was causing him to fail a lot of things.
Yeah, and might just, you know, failing the Elden trial was just too much for him, maybe. Still surprised that Gymnast gets all these jump slashes after hitting the sand. No idea how he does that. He does all of them.
Yeah, and he just is so consistent at them.
Yeah. Very impressive. I assume he'll probably go for break slides here. Yeah, it's a little bit better, a little bit faster.
Break slide.
Yeah, the rest that is sprinting.
Doesn't even need another one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit sad because I would have really liked to know what the Elden trial is.
Oh, I wanted to know. We were on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, that could have been such an upset.
It all comes down to whether or not there's something here in Lanayru. Because if there's nothing here in Lanayru, then Gear probably would have won.
Yeah. But I mean, like, let's be honest, the odds still, you know, there's still so much in Lanayru. The odds were still pretty low. But I mean, there was the odds, you know?
A guy can dream, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Elden most likely has something. And that's why, you know, that's why I would have gone there, you know, very early, because it's just so likely that there's something here. But you know,
We'll see.
being clean often also,
Rando can
it's just a different playstyle.
Rando can sometimes sneak up on you like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to step away for just 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Jim still needs to finish here, even if Deer forfeited. Still needs to look for the 2 swords
and a bottle, which is pretty funny that the bottle has been pushed back so long. Yes, Steer unfortunately forfeited. Jim does know, yes, he will see it. He is in the race room, so he will see that. At least if he looks over, he probably has it on like a second screen or something. He'll see that Deer forfeited. It would have been like, would have been so nice to see what's on Ellen trial. We do need someone to check somehow. At some point. But it probably is just, I don't know, gratitude crystals or something. No, I don't. Yeah, I think the trackers might get desynced and stuff. I don't think one plays. Else, like even if we had a one-player layout, probably would be a little bit annoying. But yeah, we'll definitely interesting. Where you guys think the last sword upgrades will be? So, what I would think here is like there's like 3 main locations left, and that is main desert. That's where we are right now, and then there's Sand Sea, and then there is Fire Sanctuary. Those are basically the main areas we can still go forward. What do you guys think? Where do you think is the last swords? Gotta have the good odds here on getting it right. Sword on Ellen trial, true, that's one thing. No one has done Pietrice, so we don't know what that is as well. I assume nothing important though. It had like, just from the layout, from the items they have, if you look at their items, you can see that they're pretty full. And that's for me at least an indication to not do Pietrice and just skip over. I mean, I know Pietrice can end up, you know, having something like a bottle. Oh wow, we're here, interesting. But, Pietrice... Oh yeah, I guess, you know, Pietrice's bottle actually might be something that the logic would have put in. I'm surprised bottle has been, like, there's 5 bottles in here. But the thing is, like, bottle is not required, right, Lippe? You know, even if Pietrice has a bottle, it might be completely skippable. This is glitch-less logic, but glitches are allowed, so you can get out of logic checks, which sometimes is a good decision, sometimes is not. Gymnast is missing 2 sword upgrades for go mode. Yeah, currently glitch logic doesn't exist just because of the amount of effort it would need to put in. Because you can do a lot of glitch stuff, like you can basically get everything glitched somehow, if you really want to. Oh yes, he has, sorry, oh yeah, right, you already got his second, he got one in Elden and the other one... Oh, there was one in Earth Temple, right, that I forgot. So he only needs 1 sword upgrade, never mind. I forgot that he got one in Earth Temple as well. Oh, 1 on Patrol, okay, so that's... So 1 in Elden, 1 on Patrol, okay. Oh, bro, not useful, unfortunately. But still nice to have. Yeah, I mean, I'm sometimes a little bit confused because the numbers are different for the tracker and ZSR. I just didn't notice, unfortunately. Yeah, it's moving a windmill in place. But I mean, honestly, going into Fire Sanctuary, if it's out of logic, doesn't sound that smart to me. I mean, I guess only requiring a bottle is not that much, so I could look over it, but... If you really want to have, like, your sword upgrades, you shouldn't be looking in places that are out of logic. In my opinion, like, sword upgrades, you know, are more likely to get to locations that are required. And you might end up, you know, doing all of Fire Sanctuary, but if Gymnast gets his last sword upgrade, then, you know... Yeah, I mean, honestly, 64. I think that's probably something to do. I wouldn't take every gamble. I would take smart gambles. Oh, there we go. See, guys, it was the right call to just go to Lanero, and we didn't even need Hook Beetle. Hook Beetle was a complete bait, guys. Most likely. I mean, we still have Fire Sanctuary. I'm just saying, I would have won against Gymnast. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But it just shows. I mean, if Deer would have, you know, like for real, if you just go to Lanero right away here, you could have gotten Master Sword really early. I mean, let's be like, again, you know, you could skip Bottle. Now you would definitely be with the time to think about that, but I'm not sure Gymnast knows the 1 RBM you need. Yes, as I said, you might still need it, but honestly, it's not, you know, not that likely. I'm laid back right now. I think it's not required. I'm calling it now. No, but yeah, unfortunately, I think he won't do Elden Trial. Yes, but there are a lot of not required Hook Beetle checks as well. 64, so. I've seen most Fire Sanctuaries don't require Hook Beetle. Just because you can get so many things. And you know, you can just set Farron Bit. You can set up Farron Bit and just, you know, RVM the door. Yeah, I mean, true. I'm just being funny. Because I want to be right, that's all. So, Lanero seems to be the play after all. He got Master Sword here.
Oh man.
Yeah, and even without Hook Beetle, so far Hook Beetle was useless. But of course it could be required in Fire Sanctuary. And there is another check for it, which is the chest on top of Lanero Mining Facility. Yeah, we can't look at the spell log. Like, it's physically not possible to make the seed that has a spell log.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you know, if you could just type in the seed without spoiler log, like with spoiler log, that would be very bad. Because people could just quickly check it up.
Wow, this guy is actually only checking checks that actually have something.
Yeah, wow. Why is he skipping this? Oh, he's getting something. Okay.
I will say those spoiler log races are really cool to watch. I was watching some Wind Waker spoiler log races, and those are actually really fun.
I think in Skyward Sword it's also very interesting because again you have the single crystals you can take into account, you have PA3s you have taken into account, you have all the RBMs you can take into account. It is really interesting. We did like a few, like we didn't do too much, but we did a few spoiler log races already for Skyward Sword, which were fun.
Yeah, Deer was having a few issues with his controller and also was having a few other problems, and so decided to forfeit.
I hope you can't like hear people laughing in the background. I don't know. Some people that laughing in the background here, really loud. I hope no one hears that.
I can't hear anything, no.
Good. Because I can hear it.
And nothing in here so far. Only thing we found more rupees.
So we talked about while you were away that there is technically a possibility to skip Bottle with a lot of RBMs.
Oh, speaking of Bottle.
Yeah, never mind. Again, Hook Beetle, guys. Who needs Hook Beetle, right? So I assume he'll go out of Lanero right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Where was the bow?
Also in the fire node. The shortcut chest.
Unbelievable. So yeah, Lanero was the play.
The whip was also in Lanero.
Oh man, I just saw the whip.
I'm telling you, he should have just gone to Lanero right away.
That's go mode, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it was a really risky play if you're honest. Like, I mean, I guess against someone like that's like Deer, who's not that experienced, it might not get punished, but against someone else, that could have been a loss for Jim here, honestly.
Well, again, that's where the metagaming comes in. Is Jim knew that they could they could
True.
afford to be a little bit more thorough and go to more places and postpone Lanayru.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that with him and figure out if that was what he was thinking. Because I think it is. Because honestly, you really like it was really risky. I would have
Yeah,
gone
I am
for Nate right away, and
I am
if I would have
convinced
played
that-
against him, who knows? I mean, I'm definitely slower than him, sure, but he did so much more.
But yeah, just from watching the qualifiers, I can tell you full out, Gymnast in qualifiers in groups would have absolutely gone straight for Lanayru.
Yeah,
From
pretty
the
sure.
get-go. Would have just rushed Lanayru as soon as they could. As soon as they finished with Earth Temple, that's what they would have done first. They would have done a few checks in Skyloft and then gone straight to Lanayru. But again, since you have the ability to metagame your opponent like this, it's different decision-making process that you go through.
Oh, or yeah, that's also a good idea. Jim just playing as if he would play so in the races, and later he'll upset the others that think he'll play like that.
Yeah,
Double metagaming.
the ultimate metagaming.
Yeah. Making us think he plays a certain way to then play a different way. Yeah, he has to go for water again, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah. So
I
yeah,
mean, he could have gone to Sandsea and searched for another bottle.
he could. Unfortunately, we'll never know what Elden Trial has. I mean, he could still have a bottle, like, for real. And there
Yeah.
could still be a sword in Fire Sanctuary, because there is one extra sword in the pool for True Master Sword. So, it could have still been, like, Deer could have still won, in theory. Although, Jim was pretty fast with finishing up Lanayru, so...
Yeah, he
What a
dipped out very early.
Yeah, especially considering that, Imprisoned 2 and Endgame are really hard, and I assume Deer would probably had some trouble there. So I
Mhm.
assume Jim probably would have still had a good
Or
chance
he
to
could
win.
have popped off.
But imagine Deer winning because he does Elden Trial, like a parallel universe, He does
Dude.
Elden Trial, gets a bottle, and Fire Sanctuary is another sword. And then he
When is
wins.
the next race scheduled? In 2 hours, 3 hours, I believe.
Yes. Also be streamed here
Yeah.
if you wanna see
I'll be
something,
here.
but different commentators, so some fresh air.
What do you mean different? I'm
Oh,
still
you're
gonna be here.
you're still
What
there,
are you
man.
saying, Pepper? Well, hold on a second.
Wait,
Hold
wait,
back up, back up. What was that you were saying about
Well,
fresh air?
it's just saying there will be like new races, like new players,
Yeah, sure, sure,
new
sure.
players racing. It's just
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to
yeah,
hear it,
just
dude.
the wrong word right there.
Copernicus wants out. Yeah, dude. He's just sitting here. That's why he's just sitting here like, hurry up, Jim. Go
Yeah,
Come
come on,
on,
man.
dude. Get me out
Got
of this.
better
Come
things to
on,
do.
bro.
I need to learn how to beat you later.
His spec's getting a full personality change, apparently, since it's different commentators.
Yeah, I mean it would be funny, right? Just changing up your personality. Just be like,
I was actually talking to my community the other day about how because I can do a good Smeagol impression, like a pretty good Smeagol impression, and so we were entertaining the idea of me doing an entire Hundo run as Smeagol.
wow, that would be tough as well, though, but pretty funny.
Could do it. We'll do an entire race as Smeagol.
Yeah. So Gymnast RBMing the map chest right here. So he'll definitely go for not going for the hook beetle hook beetle checks. He'll go for fast sci-fi sanctuary. So I think what he's thinking right now is, no, I guess no, he knows that Deer forfeited. Never mind. He probably just goes for it because he wants to be fast.
Yeah.
But something you could be considered, because he did like a lot of slow stuff that didn't pay off. You could be thinking, okay, let's do something fast. Let's just do some gambles here and not go for the slow route and get every check. So I'll go for the bit warp here, which gives him a lot of checks. Basically, every check except for the hook beetle checks, will be available to him.
Don't hurt yourself. An entire race can be long. I mean, so is a Breath of the Wild 100.
Yeah, I mean that's longer.
That's just a little bit longer, but you know.
I've heard it's quite long, you know. Not sure though.
I'm all about them. I'm not into long runs. I like those smaller. Like,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
ILs, you know, like ILs are really fun too.
Yeah. Or maybe, you know, some like 5-minute speedruns, maybe.
There you go. That's more my jam.
So he's going for the bit warp here. After RBing the map chest. So RBing the map chest allows him to get the chest after entering the door over there. He has to do a precise jump here, which is a little bit annoying. But he gets it, of course.
Of course he gets it. I hate that jump so much.
So as you'll see, the map chest will spawn in here, just because he said... No, it's actually spawned, never mind. Just because we set the flag for it. It's a little bit difficult to navigate to the bottle chest from here, but it's fine. You can just use the map, worst case. And, guys, I told you. I told you guys. Hook Beetle is completely useless. Completely. You could have actually just done Lenevru and finished the game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Everything after Earth Temple, I think, was...
Yeah. Was just go to Lenevru and, you know, you're done. Like, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You could have gone straight to... This would have been... it might still be a sub 2 hour scene, but it definitely would have been a sub 2 hour scene had he done that.
Yeah, for sure. I think...
yeah. Missed it.
That setup is a little bit difficult. You really need to go, but the problem is he doesn't get the, you know, yeah, exactly. Normally you use this chest to get the right angle, but obviously he wants, oh, vanilla!
Just to rub it in.
Vanilla bottle. But yeah, normally use that chest to get the angle for the jump, and he wanted to, you know, because he already has everything, he was like, let's skip it, but then he realized that setting up the angle is actually difficult. Because the walls have no collision, so you can't really use them to line up. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes. Oh.
Don't get killed.
Yeah.
Don't die.
But it's definitely interesting. So Hook Beetle was not required. Thunder was not required. Like, Farron was not required. Anything on Skyward was really not required except for the bombs and the claw shots at the start, I guess.
And you called it right off the beginning. You said as soon as they were done with Earth Temple, you were like, yeah. Go to Lenevru, go to Lenevru.
I would have gone.
Yeah.
I like, maybe...
How does that make you feel, Pepper, knowing that if you were going against Gymnast in this race, you would have won?
It does feel good. I mean, the thing that feels good is to actually be right, you know? Because Hook Beetle could be required, you know, and Farron could have had everything, so... It really, you know... It's just random.
Body by the keys.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I think he will probably play... I don't know if he would play different against me, but he will definitely play different against good opponents. I hope he doesn't play different against me. Maybe I should just play extra bad, so he thinks he can play like this or something.
As long as you're playing against Jaznix, you probably don't have anything to worry about, because
yeah, sure.
I promised Jaznix that the first time he does a randomizer bracket race, that I would commentate the race just so I could crap talk him the entire race. So this totally unbiased commentator definitely does not want to see Jaznix fall on his face and fail. Definitely doesn't have any sort of bias towards Harnjon, who happens to be one of my longest and greatest mods of my own channel.
Yeah.
Go Harnjon.
It would be crazy. I mean, we've seen it here. It's all possible. Let's see if Jaznix plays similar to Gymnast. And let's see how Harnjon plays. There's still opportunities, but I do think, you know, it's not how Gymnast would always play. But I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, again, it has a lot to do with your opponent, so I wouldn't take too much of what happened in this race for any future races, because in a future race, chances are he plays in a very, very different way. Because again, like we said it ourselves, normal gymnast would go straight to 5, or would go straight to
I would
linear.
assume so, yeah.
Would have gone straight to linear. If he was going against anyone else, or if he was doing it in groups, chances are he would have gone straight to linear because he would have felt like he needed to make those plays.
So I think, you know, it might be a good play to play extra bad and then just, you know.
Then just debate anyone you go against.
Yeah. The moment you're like, oh, I actually need to play good, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I've done that all the time.
The next person that goes against Gymnast, all right, and now Gymnast is probably it. Oh, he's done.
Yeah,
All right, and then it's just finishing up here, and then boss fights. Now, remind me, it is the in Prison 2, or is it in Prison 3?
In Prison 2.
It is in Prison 2 fight that you do, and then Horde, Girahim,
Yeah, the end gauntlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was in 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's in Prison 3 because in Prison 3 is what gives you the ability to open the Gate of Time normally.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So wait, 3 or is it 2?
2. So did I say 3? Sorry, I meant 2.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
In Prison 2 lets you open the Gate of Time, which allows you to go back in time, which allows you to do Horde and then all those. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I
At
understand.
least that is how it is done in vanilla, and that's why you want to keep it. There is a setting where you can skip in Prison 2. And just immediately go to the past if you have all the requirements.
Poor Fun Island dude doesn't get his wheel back, it seems.
Yeah, he's just getting carried. And luckily it's not Olo that's getting carried.
Yeah.
That would be mean. I think it's funny that the 100% category of this game actually carries around Olo for so long.
For forever, yeah.
Yeah.
At least the new route does, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like taking the Thunderhead and other stuff.
You know what? He's enjoying the ride, you know?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wanted adventure. He wanted to see the above the clouds. We're giving him the scenic view.
Yeah, exactly. True Master Sword is not required to finish, but it has some good uses on the first barrier or forward. So the difference between True Master Sword and Master Sword is not too much. The only difference really is that True Master Sword can actually break the blocking of the Bokoblins.
And it's a faster load for your Skyward
Yeah,
Strike.
faster load for Skyward Strike as well.
Which is nice. It's not worth going out of your way to try and find anything.
Yes.
He'll take the small time loss and go straight to the end.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it ends up being quite some time loss.
Yeah.
Because the barrier is really hard, but honestly, again, like even a minute time loss is nothing compared to what it takes to find the sword.
Yeah. Like it could be in deep hell.
Like
it could be in Sansi. That's what could have been in the Elden trial for all we know.
True.
Was the other sword upgrade.
Yeah.
Which is definitely longer than a minute. So.
Yeah, okay, knockback is also increased, but I wouldn't really say that is a benefit. I guess it's a benefit for if you don't get hard skip, but I would assume
strat here, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he still can't.
Oh, that's not good.
He probably has to wait for him to grab ledge now.
Yeah, for the cutscene.
Yeah. I guess he could still go for it. It's risky. It seems like he's going for it.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Oh boy, he's pretty. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, yeah, he does the double. Yeah, that's fine, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, he's quick. He's quick, but it was like an inch.
That was. It must have been a second away.
Yeah. He was instantly going for it. The thing is, it could still. Yeah, but the spin here is really good.
Imagine being Gymnast and being this good, where you can just YOLO and still make it.
Yeah, the thing is, if you do like the one slashes, then you would have never gotten it. But with the spin here, he gets it just
barely.
Yeah.
Wow. What a pro.
I mean, honestly, he could have done a little bit better job of just jumping in the front, and it would have been this Monka S, but he did it after all.
Mm-hmm. This is where Jasnik's game crashes and loses an hour of progress. Exactly. Not that we would wish that on anyone ever, unless they're Jasniks.
Unfortunately, Deer forfeited, yes. Yeah, he was basically one step.
Why did he forfeit? He was having calibration issues with his controller.
Yeah, he had like other issues. It didn't quite work. He didn't know about certain RBMs.
Yeah, it's not the end for Deer. It goes down to loser's bracket, I believe.
Yeah, he goes into the loser bracket and will play against the loser of the match, Samus Exo, which we'll also see in the near future. I'm not exactly sure when it comes up. I think it's like Friday or something.
Yeah.
So there's that. You'll see that tomorrow. Definitely gonna be interesting to see that. Oh, Saturday. That's definitely gonna be, yeah, right, true. I now remember. It's actually gonna be very interesting race. I think both players are quite good. For different reasons, and we'll see how it goes. Definitely, like the 2 versus 3rd seed games are definitely not as one-sided. But as we saw here, even Deer had a good chance of making it happen if the alien trial had something.
Yeah, yeah.
So like even if it's like so favored for one side, it's still randomized. Well, we don't know the exact reason, but we assume that just a lot of issues and not being able to do the Elden trial and not doing the RBM for Earth Temple and other stuff just ended up, stacking up against him, and he didn't feel like finishing. And I do understand. I mean, he's playing against Gymnast. He probably didn't think he would win in the first.
Bottle on the true Master Sword.
Yeah, that's where you get it. Yeah, 3rd bottle. We for some reason got 2 more bottles after we got our Go Mode bottle. That's pretty funny.
Just to rub it in.
Yeah.
I will say though, despite all of the little sidetracks that Gymnast made before getting to Lanayru, still finishing with a low 2-hour time. This seed was very, very forgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
The forgiving thing was that the first line was pretty straight. You just go like Farron, Alden, and then Lanayru, right? So it's like there's no like double trips or something, which normally often happens. Like normally you go Elden, you have to go out, you do Skyloft, then you have to Thunder and you go back in Elden, you go out, you get back in Elden, right? Well, this scene was really giving one trip.
Did we? We didn't
No, we
actually
didn't
see
Tetris.
Tetris.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like he basically did like 2 trips to Farron, 1 trip to Lanayru, 2 trips to Elden. That's it, right? That's pretty good.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. And if you think about it, he could skip even more. It's more insane.
Word skip, by the way.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, we just don't know why he forfeited. Exactly, at least. Like, even if we saw something crazy happen, we wouldn't know if that's the exact reason for him to forfeit. We can just assume. Jim can take down the plane. Jim might blindfolded. Yeah, he could. We won't see it because he doesn't have his webcam on. Possible.
Let's say he did.
Yeah. Let's say he did all of the race blindfolded.
Exactly.
That's why he got the Farron again. He thought he had more checks there. He couldn't see. And somehow he also tracked everything correctly, as you can see.
Freaking Gymnast doing forward like it's absolutely no problem.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he did get a ferry, so he wasn't that sure of himself.
That's true, he did get a ferry.
Yeah. he got the one at the end of Fire Sanctuary. I mean, Jim did finish Fire Sanctuary. I know exactly what we're meaning. We're memeing here.
See, this is why we root against Jasnick.
Yeah, true. Oh, tracker. Oh, he. Oh, you forgot. You forgot to mark it. I get it. Okay. I see what you mean now. Yes, there's unfortunately no way for him to not have it fit. You also don't have the boss key. Man, tracker.
Can we talk about how if you do the stab attack on Girahim from behind, you teabag him in the face?
Yeah. It is kind of funny. But it's also funny is if
the intended strategy.
yeah. It also is funny if you actually go backwards after you hit him down, and you can do like one of these insane final blows from very far back. Because the thing is, in this fight, you can actually target Girahim from everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter where you are on this map, you can always target him, which is pretty insane and makes like for really cool final blows.
Hey. Thank you for the 20 party raid. Welcome, welcome everyone. We are doing some Skyward Sword randomizer. And
yes.
Just finishing up right here. Deer unfortunately did have to forfeit due to a few issues with calibration, among other things. So we're just finishing up with the race here. You guys got it. The best part.
But there is also another Skyward Sword random race, not too far off from this point, so if you're interested and you think this is cool, beating the mice so easily, then you can watch it in like 2 hours from now. With totally new commentators, for sure.
Hey, don't start this again.
Yeah. I see Deer in the waiting room. I probably doesn't have commentator role, so he can't join. I don't know if he wants to talk, but assuming he's in the waiting room, he might want to join for talking about it. Just so, I don't know, maybe the streamer knows. I don't know if you can move.
GG.
Jim though.
Jim finishing with a time of 2:05:37. Very, very nice.
Jim.
Fast seed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. Well, I was getting a little bit worried when I wasn't able to find a bottle.
Yeah.
Very boring. I ended up finding all 13 sets of 5 gratitude crystals before finding a single bottle.
Yeah, that was insane. And then finding 2 more bottles, even though you're go mode.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, to hammer home the point that, you know, hey, here's what you needed. You couldn't get it because it was out, because it was blocked by needing the item.
That actually leads me to my first question that I had for you is, after pretty much everything that you did after Earth Temple
was useless
to anything, and you had access to Lanayru right as soon as you were done there. So what was the decision that made you prolong Lanayru?
Well, okay, I did find them. I did have the one sword upgrade, but from Betro, but like everything other than that.
That is true.
Right. I mean, like if it had been possible that, like, you know, say that there were no sword upgrades in Lanayru at all, then, like the back of my mind is always like, well, you know, there's always that possibility that there's no sword upgrades, like in that one giant area you have to check.
Right.
So, like, I wanted to like clean up shop everywhere else before attempting to dive into Lanayru. And of course, like, I skipped checking like Patrice and Levias. But I was like, okay, those are like long checks. I'm just gonna skip those.
Yeah. The thing is, why I thought about it is because like the check density, if you could call it like that, is a little bit higher in Neighbor than like in some other places you've gone. So
true.
But I do understand not wanting to do all of this, especially if you're near the decision to either go for Sansi or something else. It's always difficult, which could have been the case. But yeah, definitely very interesting. Definitely also shows that, you know, someone else could have clearly had a chance if if you gamble the right thing. Sometimes it can really pull off. And that's leads me to another question with Deer, because Deer was behind, of course, but he actually had a chance here if he would have continued, because he was doing the Elden Trial, and if the Elden Trial had I mean, we now know that there was no sword. I mean, there might be a sword in Fire Sanctuary, but basically, if he would have gotten a bottle in Elden Trial and gone Earth Temple and Fire Sanctuary, he could have had a chance, to be ahead of Jim.
I was still
Right.
not really close, but yeah.
I mean, with the Elden Trial having something good, he could have had a chance here because Jim didn't do that. And he would have been
Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to know it was an Elden Trial.
I do really want to know what's Elden Trial.
Yeah, it's let's see. I mean, you could have what slingshot.
Yeah, it's.
You could have one of the bottles, one of the remaining 2 bottles that we don't know where they are.
Did we find the last Master
true.
Sword upgrade?
Wait, you got all
No.
the single, you got all the 5 packs, right?
Yeah, I got all the 5 packs.
That actually makes this probably have a bottle then, which is crazy.
Or
Or a
it could have been an, or maybe no of the, like originally when I got Din's power in like the dig spot in Elden, I was like, oh, like the first thing that raised my mind is, oh, there's probably a key piece in that trial potentially for opening up Earth Temple.
But
Tell
you got
Jim
all
to
the
finish
pieces.
Elden Silent Trial.
Yeah.
Jim, go finish the realm. We need to know.
But all the key pieces were found, so that can't be it.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Deer
did
did
end up
find
finding
all
all
of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait, I thought you did.
Oh, I guess between the both of us, we found all of them.
Yeah, I thought maybe I just miscounted. I guess I probably just miscounted. I thought it was like one in Lake Floria. There was one in Farron behind the rock. There was, I thought, 2 in Elden. And I guess that's leaving 1 then. I guess you didn't have all. Okay, then I miscounted. Never mind.
It's 4.
Okay, so I guess it could be in key piece as well. That's true.
Well,
Well, it's not the end of the road for you, dear. You'll just drop down to loser bracket. You'll have another race
yeah,
against
fine, it's fine.
either Sam or Exto.
Probably some. Probably.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I gotta give Exto the edge here.
I mean, the thing is, Exo didn't do too much Skyward Sword lately. He's a little bit rusty. I mean, Sam as well.
That's true. He's been up in his Twilight Princess world recently.
Yeah, and he also just in general didn't stream too much. So
This is true.
that's everyone's game, I think. That's not the easiest one to predict. I would
Speaking
say.
of games, remember guys that in just under 2 hours we have another race that's going to be taking place right here in this same spot. So if you guys want to catch more Skyward Sword randomizer, we're going to be having Jaznix versus Harmjon.
That should be a fun match.
Heck yeah.
The one last thing, but yeah, the one last thing about this seed is that I got very lucky in Fire Sanctuary. The first chest that I checked, which is very out of the way to go get, just so happened to have the boss key. It was like, all right, well, that works.
Yeah, very good that you did like the RBM, end up paying off. And it's crazy that the hook beetle was not required at all.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like my trip to the Thunderhead was actually useless.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I was like, I did get the hook beetle upgrade, and I don't know if it's required, so I'm just gonna fly back.
Yeah.
What is the RBM for the map chest? Jaznix taking notes right now.
It's
just go ahead.
Yeah, it's you pick up the barrel beside Fledge, and you have to walk it all the way over to, I think her name is Henya.
Yeah.
She's like the cook in the kitchen. You have to place the barrel down. You just basically press the A button to start your file and place the barrel down at the same time.
Yeah.
You do the RBM.
Oh, actually, another thing that I want to talk to you that you probably didn't think of, but you can actually RBM both fires, and that's in front of Fire Sanctuary, if you have Gust Bellows.
Oh.
Yes. So the first flames you do with Gust Bellows, and the second flame you do with the Sheikah Stone, which is actually available. So
right, yeah, because the Sheikah Stones are
No, we
actually,
actually.
wait.
I made it so you start with the practice of story flag.
Okay, I see.
Unlock some
that
more
makes sense,
abilities,
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, one other thing that I was kind of frustrated that I didn't realize is that the dowsing things like weren't pulled into the tournament version. Because
Yes.
I spent like 2 minutes trying to get treasure
No.
dowsing and was very disappointed that it didn't actually end up happening.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to change too much gameplay wise, so they decided against the dowsing from the seeding races.
It makes
But
sense.
yeah.
When you change too much in the middle of a tournament, it can cause some issues. So it does make sense.
Right.
Better just to keep it consistent.
But I mean, it was a good race to fight it out for you, I guess.
And hey, when we do our next Skyward Sword randomizer tournament, wink wink, we'll definitely have the updated randomizer.
True. Even more stuff because it still is in development, and we've added a lot of new stuff that are not in the tourney, for obvious reasons.
I'm
So, yeah.
excited. I'm especially excited for mini games to be enabled in the next one.
I am excited for ticking the skip imprison 2 checkbox.
Oh yeah,
in the next
me
tournament.
too. Just because I am not as good as other players, and also it's not the most. It makes the end a little bit long, but I understand it being there.
We all love Imp 2. Come on, guys. We love our
Absolutely,
Imp 2.
absolutely.
Imp 2 is like 90% cutscenes if you do it correctly,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
which is why I wanted to be removed.
That's fair.
Skip horde. Maybe.
This is skip horde checkbox.
Yeah. Skip the mice.
Ah, yes. You enter the portal and you're in the credits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, I guess we're finished mostly. Don't want to hold too up. I mean, there's another race coming up. I don't know how much preparation is needed.
Well,
Oh,
we're not going to talk about the next race that hasn't happened yet for 2 hours.
Dude, get a chair.
All right, gonna wrap up.
Yep.
All right, then. I want to thank our runners. Thank you to Gymnast86 and Deer. That was an awesome match. Deer did excellent job. And GG's to both of you. Thank you to our commentators, Copernicus and Specs and Stats. And thank you to our trackers, Mario Runner and Muzu. Did a fantastic job. As stated before, coming up in 2 hours at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we do have another Skyward Sword Randomizer Tournament match between JazzNix08 and HarmJan387. And that's actually going to do it for the Zelda Speedrun schedule for today. Tomorrow, which we'll be announcing later as well, but tomorrow at 10 a.m. we also have another Skyward Sword match between Ibu and Lepilog. So look forward to both these matches coming up. And for now, we're going to go ahead and raid Francois Harpy. He is doing a Skyward Sword Randall practice run. And we're going to go raid him until the next match at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you all had a great time watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.